the earth is spinning. It could be a beautiful sunset, or just make you dizzy. Depends on what you make it. As darkness falls over me, I sit there and I think about my life. Depends on what you make it. Could be bad, could be good, depends on what you make it. You might fall down, you might get up, depends on how you take it. Been sitting here, praying for some daylight, and it's been so long since I've seen some sunshine. It never comes as soon as I light, as soon as I hold. It never comes as quickly as I hope, as soon as I like. So send me some sunshine, baby. Since you sent the sun to my way, it's been crazy. Since you sent the sun to my way, yeah, damn crazy. Crazy, it's been so crazy, baby. Other part. Love that sunshine. Got to love your sunshine, baby. Sweet, sweet sunshine, baby.
Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show Recap Podcast. I'm Tyler from the Unemployed Architects. This week I have a couple guests here. I have Ross Graves from the Heroic Charade.
Yeah, what's up?
And then a surprise guest, Alex Smitty, as everybody knows him.
Hi.
So,
Hello, greetings.
those songs you just heard were actually the first song that me and Ross, the first song I ever wrote was with Ross.
First we recorded.
Right. Yeah. So, well, I don't.
Oh, was that even the case? Probably.
Yeah, I don't. Well, we did have a weird one when we were in grade school.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit.
I don't think we recorded that one.
No, we weren't even musical then, I don't think.
First date?
Yeah, first date, first night.
Yeah.
Lit under candlelight, I believe
song.
was the classic.
Never graced
that
the
might have been
airwaves.
like 4th grade. So we were writing songs before we were even musical together. And then
early.
I started playing guitar and kind of you started shortly after.
Yeah. Took some lessons in junior high. I think we would have been around 12 to 14 at the time.
Yeah. And then you had been singing for a little bit. And so we got together those 2 tracks. We did, the first one you heard was Depends on What You Make It. Yeah. And then the second one was Sunshine, which most people that knew of us around back then kind of knew that song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
It's classic.
It's spread within the friend group, and that's about as far as it got. Cause we didn't really do much with it.
Right. Well, we recorded it on an old desktop computer with like a gooseneck.
I had it on my desktop.
Ooh, that means we were famous if we made the Smitty's.
Yeah, we posted it.
Smitty's
It was a classic.
What was it? Where'd you say you posted it?
We put it on purevolume.com.
Pure Volume.
Which I don't even know if it's a thing anymore, but it was it was
around
back
the
in
MySpace days.
Yeah, MySpace era. So we're talking a long time ago. Things have come. That was before YouTube was even.
Yeah,
a thing,
yeah. I mean, that would have been. We would have been in.
I think we were still on dial-up for the most part. So.
Yeah. Were we freshman year? Was that like freshman or?
I think it was before that. I think we were still in
grade?
junior high, like 7th or 8th grade. Yeah.
So you probably hadn't been playing guitar too much. That's probably why I played
No,
guitar.
I hadn't played guitar too much because, well, when I first started, I took a couple of lessons, but then you were playing, and then when we finally got together, which was more or less through youth group, pretty much.
Yeah.
I actually just started playing bass then because it was like guitar but easier.
Guitar light.
Yeah, exactly. For
when
me,
you
it was
first
easier.
when you first start learning.
But I
bass,
mean,
it
like,
kinda is.
by no means was I good at all.
Right, that's what it's good.
Yeah.
It's guitar light until you
Faked it-
get past
faked it
a
to make
certain
it.
point.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then we wrote and recorded those 2 songs, and so I just kind of forget that the first songs I ever wrote were with you. It's so crazy, such a different time and so long ago.
I mean, if we had to date that, that'd be like 17 years ago.
Yeah, so that'd be like 2003, I guess.
Which makes me feel old too.
Right. Well, it's just
we are kind of old.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
You're getting there.
But yeah, it's crazy to think that we've been writing songs for that long and been playing music that long.
Pretty
And
long.
so, and as you mentioned, we're doing the youth group. That was my first band I ever played in. In the last podcast or a couple podcasts ago with Big D, we talked about it. It was Blair Steffens, who was like the band leader, electric guitar player.
Yep.
Me on rhythm guitar. Kevin Lyons on bass.
Yep.
You were singing as well.
Yep.
And
You still had Eric too.
Eric Davis on guitar and
then
Caitlin Schultz, I think, on drums.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a lot of musicians that we collaborated with and played with throughout. And then shortly thereafter, we did the Beans and the Intergalactic Warriors.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, that would have been our freshman
Classic
year
group, yeah.
debut. Beans and the Intergalactic.
I remember I wore those like leather pants and that like tight like flame like green flame
we thought
shirt.
we were very, very cool.
We thought we were the
We
shit.
got some costumes going.
I mean, everybody liked it too. We did play some cool covers.
I mean, it's not like it was a hard crowd to win over. It was
Yeah,
all our
that's true.
buddies and
That's
friends
true.
for the high school talent show.
Yeah.
But we put together a tight 3 songs with intros and outros to stuff.
you had like a 10-minute act basically.
Yeah. But I mean, we had it pretty down. It wasn't amazing, but we seemed like we knew what we were doing a little bit.
I think we rehearsed at least, like 10 times for like 3 songs.
Right.
I would hope that you'd have it down by then.
Well, back then, we probably still didn't have it great. What were the songs we did? I know we did Hey Ya.
Hey Ya.
Paper Heart by All American Rejects.
Yep. And then was that when are you talking about the first time?
The first time.
The first time would have been the
I Believe in a Thing Called Love, and that was our killer closer.
Yeah, that was the
and then
that was the peak because that video was just like huge on MTV at the time. It's a crazy video.
Yeah, well, it's like bringing back '80s hair metal.
Yeah, the alien like crawls out and like eats the dude at one point. It's kind of strange.
It's a fun song. We kind of were talking. I think after this we're gonna do a little live stream. And we're gonna do that one.
We're gonna try
just to see what happens. So that'll be.
I mean, we dusted off the cobwebs on the intro songs too. So I think we could manage.
Yeah, 4. I think we're gonna try for 4. We'll see what happens. We haven't played together in 10, 15. It's been a long time, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how that turns out. But yeah,
It'll go great.
What's that?
It will go great.
Thanks.
we got some support.
Yeah, Smitty will be there cheering us on, making us feel good.
Yeah, guys.
Emotional support.
We need that.
I definitely need that.
Everybody does.
Perform better
Everybody
under
does.
pressure.
So youth group, that was Jason Wolliver.
Jason Wolliver, was our pastor.
He was kind of the. He showed us the way.
He was the driving factor, really. I mean, he found out. What he found out was that we had performed in the school talent show or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, this is cool." And like, I mean, if anybody that knew Jason knew that like music was a huge part of his life, and like a lot of who he used to be before becoming a pastor.
Right.
And like it changed his life.
And actually, just kind of to come full circle on that, Blair plays in a church in Peoria. Guess who's the band leader pastor over there?
Is it Jason?
Jason.
No
Wolliver.
way. Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Kind of full circle.
But yeah, when he found out that we were doing the talent show, and then pretty much once he caught wind of it, he was like, "Hey, you guys gotta play."
I think we actually started a little bit before then.
We might have been doing a couple of
7th
songs.
to 8th grade. I think we kind of started, but
the timeline's a little hazy. But I definitely know he was a big contributing factor to why we stuck with it.
Well, and how we learned to play with other people. How we learned to play in a band. Big influence on that. I mean, back then I think I was just playing simple chords. You were kind of singing.
Yeah, I was just singing. I think pretty much.
Yeah, so I mean, it was like the simplest way you could be in a band, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
And there were like 3 guitars and bass and Sometimes Jason would play with us before
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
Easy for me to, if I messed up, I had plenty to hide
Jason would
behind.
just shred over us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then, so then the Beans and the Intergalactic Warriors, we said the 3 songs. I think I threw like some weird. There was a song in a Geico commercial that I was like a background.
What?
Yeah, it was such a weird side note.
No, I kind of vaguely remember this.
That I did it like as an outro from one song to an intro to another, and then we had this little jam that we kind of wrote in between the third and the fourth song, or the second and the third song. So it was like all kind of a coherent little show. I think McCardle did sound for from Perfect Nats.
Quite possibly.
And
I mean, he played bass for him. I don't know if he ran the sound too.
Well, I think at that talent show he was in charge. I just have this memory of him, so that's why it sounded probably pretty good on.
Yeah,
because we've played in that auditorium a couple times after that. Didn't go very well most of the time.
I mean, having somebody that can mix, run sound is pretty important.
Well, just having monitors. I feel like a bunch of the times we've played there, they just had 2 main speakers and nothing else, or plugged into the house system.
Non-existent, yeah, totally.
So, and then that was freshman year. Sophomore year, we did Beans and the Intergalactic Warriors Strikes Back.
Strikes Back, yep.
And so Blair played with us on that one.
Yeah, right.
And what songs did we do? I know we did Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone.
That was Not the Sun,
That's
right?
a good one.
No, that was more Unemployed Architects.
Oh,
you sang all these songs.
So that was later.
I'm trying to think. We did...
Kelly Clarkson was the Ted Leo and the Pharmacist mashup.
We went to...
that's a great mashup.
Maps.
Maps.
Was
Maps.
And who? Yeah.
Maps.
What others? I can't really remember.
Dang,
what other songs we played that year? We must not have been that cool.
I mean, well, that would have been 3, honestly, kind of, because you had the Since You've Been Gone mashed up with the. No, that was the Ted Leo. Yeah,
that was all kind of one song.
That was with Maps, but dang, I can't remember what else was that year.
I'm sure it was just fabulous. It's on. It's on old DVD that I have lying around somewhere, and it was like the worst edit. It was Mr. Coach Pete's class did it as a class project, and they filmed it. And did all the editing.
It's got the cool star transitions.
No, I wish it was even that.
It's super 80s.
It just doesn't really flow very. Or no, that was Mike Shift year. Mike Shift's sister did it, and it was a DVD, and it actually was really good. You could select, and then I did a.
It was Fun Fest, right?
Yes, that's what.
Fun Fest.
Fun Fest. And I did a solo set. Mike Emmons did a solo set.
I can't remember what the other song would have been.
We did 3 probably.
Honestly, I really can't remember.
There were songs that Blair played. Was it The Used? Did we do that ever? The Taste of Ink? I think we talked about it, but I don't know if we ever did.
I don't think I ever sang that one.
I think we tried it. Maybe it didn't work out.
Honestly,
really can't
you'll have to look that up and let me know.
Yeah,
I can't remember for the life of me.
And then I did a solo set, and Mike Emmons did a solo set. Mm-hmm. Blair played with his band. I remember him playing Mr. Brightside. That was.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty
cool.
legit.
That was cool. Did Mike do Howie Day?
Yep, definitely did some Howie Day. Yeah. I mean, that was his go-to back then. And he killed it more than anybody. I feel like
Donnie and I've tried that one out a few times.
Collide.
Yeah, Collide.
That's the.
It's cool with some harmonies in there actually.
But it's that classic
yeah.
chord progression that like gets used over. It's a good
it's
mashup
like that
song.
G,
D, minor C.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just in every song.
That's also like in one of those All American Reject songs. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you can mash together probably like 70 songs if you keep playing
that chord progression.
I've seen it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do remember him kind of kill it. Did we do a stroke song? We did.
Reptilia. That's right. Yeah.
Because Blair played the.
Oh yeah, that song's dope. It's not over, yo.
Yeah.
That song's great.
At least we got 2 of them.
Yeah.
We got 2 of them. I know there was.
There might have been another one, but
I feel like it might have been another stroke song. But,
maybe.
But yeah, I just remember Mike Emmons just tearing it up. And he wasn't like the most talkative guy or like outgoing guy, but he got up on stage and kind of
put on a good show.
Yeah, he I mean, he laid it all out there. I was very envious.
He didn't really play. Yeah, he didn't play too often, but he would always play when we were hanging out.
Right.
Like every now and then.
Yeah, and
he was always good at it.
Yeah, he still sings once in a while. I still hear him every once in a while, but I have to it's like pulling teeth to get him to do it.
Get him to do it. Yeah.
He hadn't had a guitar for a long time. I just let him borrow one of mine just to, because I know that everybody's been bored, with the quarantine stuff.
Right. Yeah.
How's that been treating you guys?
Ooh, I hated
Pretty chill.
it.
Yeah.
What's that?
I hated it.
You hated it?
I thought I didn't do anything, and that was until they closed everywhere.
It's still happening.
And then it's like, oh man, you really can't go nowhere.
Yeah, it's been
totally different thing.
There's a difference between choosing not to go somewhere.
That's a good point.
And
it's a really
not
good point.
actually
Not like
being
being
allowed
able
to go somewhere.
I don't like it when I can't go nowhere.
You definitely get a little bit of the trapped in syndrome for sure.
Yeah, I feel a little claustrophobic.
How is it out in Colorado?
I don't know, same as everywhere, I guess, really. But I've spent a lot of time in my apartment. Sometimes it gets boring as fuck.
Right.
Like I want to.
Good time to play music. I
want to
guess.
go. Yeah, I want to go out and do things, but can't really do that. So.
Did you drive?
No,
Or
I flew back. And we'd already put it off 2 different occasions.
Right.
Like I was supposed to come back in May, originally, but yeah, I mean all this shit's been going on since March.
Yeah, hard to travel. Hard to convince yourself.
Started hitting hard in March. I think March 12th was like the last day I worked.
Crazy.
Pretty sure. So here we are, almost 4 months later.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, it's been chill. I've been working on music. I found some ways to use my time.
Fill the time.
A lot of video games too.
There you go.
Eating a lot of food.
Yeah, that's been an issue for me as well. Just sitting around.
Need to work out some more.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Been working out okay, but I do not keep good on the diet part.
Yeah.
But so then after Beans and Israelite Warriors Strike Back, for some reason you decided to not really sing any. I know I wanted to sing lead. I'd been kind of writing some of my own songs at that point, and then you had started playing bass.
Right. So that's where the Unemployed Architects came in.
Yeah, that was the first version of the Unemployed Architects. Was you, Eric Davis. Norm was actually the first drummer.
Oh yeah.
He played with us for a year.
Heck yeah. That was
Cole Gertis played with us for a year.
Oh yeah.
And then we Big D the last.
So that must have started like sophomore year then?
Sophomore, junior, somewhere in there. It might have just been, no, it was sophomore. Sophomore, and then junior was Cole played with us, and then senior, I think that's how it went. Or maybe it's Cole.
I think Cole was first.
Norm.
Norm, and then,
okay.
I think that's right.
Did you play, there was like a talent show I played where we played Jack Johnson Flake.
Yeah, probably.
And I vaguely remember you playing that with him.
I remember.
Yeah, I think
you
so.
probably were there.
I remember.
That was the time at the auditorium where they didn't have any monitors, and that was my first time singing in public, and I just did terribly.
I remember that one.
I could not hear my vocals, and I was not singing the right melody.
That's a nightmare, yeah.
And it was my first. I had wide eye syndrome anyway because it was my first time really singing into a PA like that big, and then everything was so far away, and there were people there, and I remember the ride home just being like, why did I even do that? I should have just not. I could have easily. I think we played "Steal My Kisses."
That's right. Yeah.
I'm not by Ben Harper.
No, I was thinking there was a Ben Harper song in there somewhere.
We may have did one more, but that's all I can really remember.
I remember those two though.
I just remember it not going.
Did we do
well?
What was that band? Shoot, I can't remember their name. Is it like the British singer?
Arctic Monkeys?
No, not them. Similar. Dude, that's
It'll come
back for sure.
But yeah, so you started playing bass, and then you sang backup a lot, but which, looking back in retrospect, I'm glad that I was singing because it got me.
The helm, yeah.
It got me going, but the real question is why? Because you're a much better singer than I am.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I think just falling into a different role.
Yeah.
In a band is a cool thing.
And not being maybe the center of attention.
Not having to always
just being
take
able
the
to
lead
rock
cool
out
too.
and not really have to.
Right, and I would say in the same way that definitely contributed to my growth as a musician too. Just like trying something different.
Right, and you you got good at bass. I remember there were times where you were just improv and stuff.
I still play now. Yeah.
Right. I
still play bass.
I don't remember really trying ever like having to like show you bass lines too
Yeah.
much. It was like you kind of came up, either you had already learned it or you could come up with something like that I was writing. You would just come up with your own part most of the time.
Yeah, a lot of it just kind of improv for sure.
But yeah, so and we did that through senior year. I remember we won that Battle of the Bands.
Yep.
Probably very unrightfully so, but it was popularity contest, and we brought a lot of people.
Yeah, we got the votes.
Yeah, and
oh yeah, was that the one in
Odell?
Odell, yeah,
Days.
at the Odell Days.
I think we played that 2 years in a row. Once with
that.
Norm, once with Big D.
Yeah.
And we ended up playing Sunshine at one.
Oh yeah.
Had you
That
come
was
up
probably the
and
first
sing.
one, maybe.
I bet it was the second one.
Maybe.
I vaguely
Maybe.
remember D. Maybe D was late, and we had to. That seems right.
Yes.
Possible. Yeah.
Sorry.
Was that never not covered in the podcast?
We didn't really talk. He said he's a lot better at it now, but
Yeah.
that was always an issue getting Big D on time. But
Yeah, that's funny actually.
but we did Sunshine. I remember that, and we won somehow, and then we used that money to do some recording.
Oh yeah. That's
with,
when we went to DeKalb.
Nathan Shield. Well,
Or no.
that was before.
Was that before?
Yeah.
That
so
was like the early days of the.
that was even earlier.
Architects.
Yeah, my brother hooked that all up.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Up in DeKalb, we went into.
It
a
was so
studio,
wild. I knew nothing about recording.
And the guy that
studios.
was recording also knew nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
either.
Yeah, but we didn't even
He
know
knew how to hit the
yeah.
record button.
Yeah, basically just
and
piece
cue
things
us in,
together.
But
Those recordings were like terrible.
they were. You
I
said.
mean,
Yeah, they definitely.
they were pretty bad, but
were.
for a first time, and
Yeah.
basically like not really having much direction from the producer. Like,
Yeah, we had no idea what we were doing.
it's actually surprising that we even got it done.
Yeah, just one thing I'm good at is pushing things to completion. It's not
Right.
doing them well.
Yeah.
It's just getting it done, not doing them right.
Yeah, that's
But,
half the battle.
But yeah, my brother hooked us up with that. I think he actually used some of his own money, which
Yeah.
was just nuts for him to even. But thanks. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, thank you for
Yeah.
doing that. But
That pussy's funny. Man.
that was interesting. And we didn't have a drummer then. That was like we were
Mhm.
between drummers, so we had the studio guy just come in and wing it.
I remember that.
Yikes.
Was it the studio guy that did it, or did he? Yeah, was that?
Yeah,
right?
it was just.
Okay.
It wasn't the main. It wasn't the engineer. It was
Oh,
we
really?
paid a studio drummer who was like a heavy metal drummer.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about this.
Yeah, and we like ran through the
What?
songs right before once, and then we're
Right.
like, "All right, let's do them." See what
Yeah,
happens.
let's go.
And the drum
We've
partner just-
obviously got this.
That's like
funny.
the story of my childhood.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I
just
love
like,
that. I
yeah,
love
I obviously got it. I obviously know what I'm doing.
I've definitely talked about that
This will-
experience
this
before,
will
just
be
how
fine.
we knew absolutely nothing, but went in with this
Fine.
this goal to like finish this album. Like, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised we even did it. Like, we got it done.
Yeah,
It wasn't. It's not the greatest. Like, we don't showcase it to people.
It's not very what you call listenable.
Yeah,
but
we don't go around like
done.
hey,
It
I
is
made
completed.
this. Yeah.
And there are songs there, but
Yeah.
There are
and then
songs there.
after we won that Battle of the Bands,
Yeah.
we used that because I think we won like $500 or something,
That sounds about right.
and
yeah.
then we used that money to pay Nathan Shields to record an album
Right.
with us. And we
Oh
did-
yeah, but we did in the.
So and then I think we used maybe a couple of songs
Did it at the
from
Lutheran
that
Church,
first. I think we used Your Eyes at least
Mhm.
from that first thing when Davis was playing.
I think that's right.
Um,
Yeah, he had a cool setup for all that in that church.
and then and then Shields recorded us. I think we did 4 or 5 with the full band, and then I did a
Mhm.
couple solo, and then I had a couple from the previous. I don't even know what I think we called that album Just Be.
Yeah, just me. Yeah,
we
that
were
sounds great.
we were so
Yeah, meta.
just smart.
Yeah.
Wise. That's the word. We were so wise.
We still are,
Yeah.
but we used to be too.
So
Nothing's
then, but yeah, so that would have been when you moved down to U of I,
Yep.
and then I kind of didn't play.
I didn't really.
much.
Yeah, no, I didn't really play much music down there for my first year and a half, maybe. I was dating this girl for a while, and when we broke up, I was really sad. That's when I picked up a guitar again, honestly. But
so-
then I started playing all the
Again,
time.
Again, I remember
I was like,
that
I was
as well.
busking on the street, like, and,
Nice.
and Champaign,
It's a good place to do it.
playing on
Lots of
Green
foot
Street.
traffic.
Yeah, tons of foot traffic. I met this dude outside of like a convenience store one day, and he was just playing like some Sublime or whatever. and saw a couple people like walking by and just like threw them like $5 or whatever.
I've done that on several occasions just here in town, and like if you have to put in time if you really want to make any sort of money. But I've made like $100 in like 4 hours before. I mean, it's a lot of playing. It's good practice, obviously.
For sure, yeah.
And like crowd interaction practice too, because you're kind of.
Yeah, no, he'd just call out songs to people. Like, I mean, people enjoyed it. It was all just like top like Billboard songs that everybody pretty much knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, until then, I hadn't really seen anybody like busk in that area, and like I thought it was a good idea, so I started going out there playing with that dude all the time.
Nice.
Started hitting the open mics around Champaign.
So, when you were playing bass, were you playing much guitar also, or when you were playing bass with the Unemployed Architects?
Not really. No, I don't think I was playing much. Maybe a little bit, just on my own, but I wasn't really showcasing any of it or playing it anywhere. If anything, I was just
wondering if you were kind of still doing it on the side.
I think a little bit, but not really, like not to a degree where.
So you really didn't really come back to it full circle till.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I didn't learn to play and sing guitar until.
But you were singing and playing bass, which kind of has some of the same mechanism.
Totally, it was
coordination stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I didn't really learn to play and sing until. After college.
So when does the Donnie and Ross thing come together?
So that would have started pretty much probably towards the end of my sophomore year.
In college.
Or junior year in college.
Donnie...
Because Donnie had moved...
To California?
Yeah, he was in California. And then he came back once to Illinois and... he was in Pontiac, and he hit me up one night, and he was like, hey, I think I was in Champaign still at the time, but he said, hey, I'm going to play a show at, what's that bar that was below the train station?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, not the engine room.
Yeah, the engine room. I think it was the engine room then. But he was like, yeah, I'm going to play a show, do you want to come, like, sing some...
And you guys had sang madrigals in high school.
Yeah, we'd done, like, choral group, madrigals, and then, like, just cruising around, like, singing in the car.
Right. And so very comfortable singing together.
Actually, no, he would have been back from California, but then he moved to Bloomington shortly after. But anyways, played this show with him in Pontiac, and actually went pretty well. And then I think it was fairly recently after that he moved back to Illinois.
Right.
And then he was in Bloomington, I was in Champaign, so, only like 30 minutes apart.
Right, and I think was that when he was living with me, or...
No, he was living with Kyle, his cousin.
Right. So you guys...
Some house right off the highway down there.
I gotcha. And you guys would just get together once in a while and practice? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I'd come over here on the weekends, hang out for the weekend.
I mean, I'm sure around that time is when I'd start having you guys play with me a fair amount.
It was pretty close to around then. I don't know when I first, like...
I can't remember I remember you guys...
We played that show in, at, like, TC Buzz.
TC Buzz.
In Pontiac.
Yeah,
like,
was that like
shop.
I was just talking about that with D.
But
was that like a New Year's Eve thing, or was that like different?
I think it might have been part of it. I don't remember it being particularly cold, but...
I remember we did one, and it was like when we were all like 19, 20, and I was saying all our friends wanted to probably drink, but we were playing at a coffee house, so it was like a weird vibe.
I think Donnie and I did, like, we learned a bunch of covers for probably the course of, like, at least a year, I would say. And we probably played some shows, like, opening for you guys, just a bunch of covers and whatnot.
Right.
But then over that year, too, like, towards, I would say probably that whole year it took. But Donnie started writing some originals. I started writing some originals.
Right. And some really good stuff came out of that.
Yeah.
The Serenades and...
Yeah, we got into
the... Whole World versus You and Me.
That was where, like, the original ones, like Morning Sunrise.
Right. Actually, I remember Morning Sunrise. Donnie came and showed that to me right away.
That was the first one we recorded.
And he did it with Jeff, and I was like, I had just gotten done recording Matchless up in this, like, a nice studio in Chicago, and I'm like, well, we can't really afford to do every song that way, and I heard that version of Morning Sunrise. Like, the quality on this is pretty good. I should just hire Jeff to do some of our songs.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cheap.
I mean, it wasn't, I wouldn't say really cheap, but it's definitely cheaper and more convenient doing it in town. And he knows what he's doing. I mean,
absolutely.
He still is recording for me. I mean, he's always just had like an excellent ear, and he went to school for it. He knows all the tech.
Oh yeah. No.
But so I remember him recording you guys' stuff at that house. It was like a house that you would come over.
Yeah,
you
that was
guys' place.
where Donnie was living with Kyle.
Right, I remember going over there a few times to hear some of the.
We did. We recorded mostly there, and then I think maybe once in Pontiac, wherever Jeff was at. As
But
well.
I remember hearing all the stuff for the first time. I was like, this is pretty good. Like,
yeah, it wasn't bad.
It's definitely. I remember he played guitar in a couple, and he kind of leans on the metal side.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There was some
of his solos on there are pretty sick, though. Jeff was a great player.
Definitely brought a different vibe to the songs.
Yeah, he brought, the whole EP, too, was just like, it was all full band.
Right.
Full band
he
sound.
did all the drums.
But it was really, like, when Donnie and I would play, it was just us two.
Right.
So, like...
But,
no means
I still go back and listen to that stuff.
Yeah.
And, I know the whole world versus you and me. What else is on that album?
That was not on there, actually. There's no
that
actual
was.
recording of that other than the radio shows.
So that's Serenades and that song, right?
Serenades has never been actually recorded in a studio either.
Right. I'm saying those two have never been rightfully recorded.
Yeah. There's actually
Just
a lot.
live
Yeah, and then a
versions.
ton of Donnie's originals too.
Right.
But yeah, those have never been recorded. I think there's I have another one called Weeping World that's not on that original one.
So Morning Sunrise. What
The
else?
Whole World. Yeah. That's on the original album.
Yeah.
There's
Morning Sunrise.
Hip Rock, Morning
Hip Rock.
Sunrise, Craftsman, Thank You. Early Life. Is Early Life? Yeah. Early Life's on that one.
That one has like a real punk rock. kind of
Long
punk
Way,
pop.
which is an original by
one
me.
you sang.
I think there
might
was.
be it.
How many you got there? Was it 6? I feel like there was 7. Did I say Hip Rock?
You did say Hip Rock, and that was the title, right? Hip Rock is what you called the album. Or the
I don't know if we did. I think it was just self-titled.
I
can't remember now, actually.
But anyway, I still go back and rock some of those tunes.
It's been so long. Okay. I think that release was at least 10 years old now.
Yeah.
Which is
crazy. I mean, those were good quality tunes.
Or 7,
ultimately.
maybe? I don't know. No, because I've been in Colorado now 7 years, so it has to be
older
than that. Yeah, I think it just hit 10.
But then I remember you guys doing Serenades and the Whole World versus You and Me at some of the shows that I put on and really digging those tunes.
Those followed up, but we never
Fun and Games.
Fun and Games, Fun and Games, right? That was the title track.
Yeah.
That was the title track. Wow, I wrote that one too.
Yeah.
Think of it.
That one was one of my favorites on that because you do this vocal run at the end.
Oh yeah,
just so sick.
That take was really tough.
And
it took me an hour to get that note perfect.
But it sounds that way. I mean,
the
whole
one where
song
I just
is
yell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something like that.
That was really tough to get, for sure.
But it's just that whole song is worth that.
that
one
moment.
Little.
That song ended up being I had another song that had started, and then I kind of ripped the guts from that one and shoved it into Fun and Games.
If you're a songwriter, you know that game very well.
Yeah, exactly.
That happens quite a bit.
Well, and the original one is actually Big D still asked me he wants a recording of it. I've been trying to get him a recording.
Big D is all about the old.
It was it's totally obscure. I was like, what? You like this stuff?
The one he always brings up. Do you remember Breathing Underwater?
Uh-huh.
So you had that cool bass line in that. But the lyrics in that weren't my favorite.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't really kept it around.
But he
brings it up anytime.
He's still keen on it.
That's awesome. He won't let it die, I guess.
Yeah.
But
right.
Makes me think twice about it a little bit.
Same with mine. Yeah. I started playing it again not too long ago because I wanted to get him a recording of it. But yeah, it was called Lost in the Sea.
Lost in the Sea. That sounds vaguely familiar.
You probably knew it.
Yeah.
Lost in the Sea. The hook was pretty catchy.
But then so and then you guys went out to Colorado.
So I moved to Colorado first. I was playing music with a buddy of mine who I met in college. His name's Pinner.
Yeah, I remember him playing with you guys.
He
played at that. Did he play at that Weft performance that you guys
He played one of those radio shows with us for sure, and then he started playing.
Because there's a lot of good videos from Weft down in Champaign.
Yeah, Weft
and Serenades and Monotone.
One of my favorite ones was it was before Pinner, but we played with a kid named Robbie Holiday.
Oh yeah, Robbie.
Who I met at college. Yeah, he was a physics genius.
Yeah.
And actually really great at guitar too. We would just jam and hang out and smoke, and then we also had this other kid who was kind of hard to get a hold of those days, but on the left videos, he just absolutely crushes it. That's the mandolin player.
Oh yeah,
Patrick Heddens. That guy was sick. And then I don't know. We had Jake Starks on some djembe.
Right.
In one of those, and then we had another buddy in a different one. But yeah, we played on WEFT. We also played on what was the other one? WPGU. Couple times too, with a different group. But yeah, we had this other dude, Adam Hogwater, I think his name was.
Hogwater. That sounds like Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Or Hogwater. I might have just
Hogwash. That's what his name is. Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
I totally butchered that. But that kid was killer on bass as well. So he's in on one of those.
And you played the Winter to Spring song.
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
I remember that. Really good. That's the first time I heard that one.
Yeah, who we were playing with around those times was like always constantly evolving.
Right.
Because
it just changed a lot.
Some people couldn't commit to like all the time.
Right.
But luckily enough, we had a bunch of different people that
tag in, tag out.
Yeah, exactly. We could kind of substitute in.
And then sometimes it'd just be like a super group.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody would show up.
Right, everybody show up. You'd have to.
You did like a.
You play 2 songs and then I play mine too.
I'm vaguely remembering that you guys.
It's like a relay.
Show with me at the Castle Theater.
Yeah.
Was it like a New Year's Eve thing or something? Maybe.
Shoot, I can't remember. I remember we did open for.
That was a different lead guitar player for that.
We opened for Badfish, I think, there one time.
I remember hearing about that, and I was like, that would have been a good lineup because you guys would have fit right in.
It was pretty packed. I don't think we crushed it though. I mean, I don't think it was just Donnie and I.
Right, but still, I mean,
everybody else that played there was full bands.
Yeah, but you were probably the first group, right?
Yeah, I think we were the
and if you guys sounded anything like you normally do.
But we did I mean, I think we've evolved a lot since then, for sure.
But I mean, even back then, your harmonies were killer, right?
The harmonies were still good, but I think we've even gotten better in that department as well.
And so that brings us to what you've been doing lately. I've been seeing the live streams, and any plans to do any of those?
I would hope so. Donnie and I have kind of been back and forth about it. He wasn't sure if he wanted to do them for a minute.
So random that he came last week and then you decided to come this week.
Yeah, right.
Couldn't make the trip together.
No. I was hoping maybe.
Too many people would have liked that.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe he'd still be here, but. It's nice. He lives 5 minutes down the road from me in Denver right now.
You guys are sick of each other, is what you're saying. You needed.
I spent the first month of quarantine with him. He lived at my apartment with me for the first month of quarantine. So, that's when we got.
That's when you were playing.
That's when we got our first streams in, and then he went back to his place and back to work for a little while. So things kind of fell off, but I still see him very often. I would like to get another show in, but. I don't know. It's kind of we got to meet in the middle there somewhere.
Right. I like how you guys were doing it. You were doing it kind of off nights. And you did 2 separate sets completely. They weren't there weren't a lot of repeats in the set list, which was
Which we did. We did draw up another set list.
So you have a potential.
We have at least another hour and a half of music.
I was really digging those Tyler Childers songs.
Yeah, the Childers. I was just listening. Lady May, I love that song.
Yeah,
so
and then Nose to the Grindstone.
Nose to the Grindstone, yeah.
I really like how you guys chose to do that. I'm sure it wasn't definitely on purpose, but your voice for Lady May is more of Childers, softer kind of touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Nose to the Grindstone is much harsher, so it fits you guys' voices.
Makes sense, yeah.
With
absolutely.
with who does each
a
one.
different style,
yeah,
totally. Yeah, I think since I heard Tyler Childers and I heard that album, the Lady May is just one that I felt
definitely sticks out.
I just wanted to sing along with it, and the more I sang with it, I just knew that one's more in my wheelhouse for sure.
Right.
And then Donnie's singing. He's like, I want to sing this one. I was
right.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
That's perfect. Yeah. Showcase 2 different songs by the same artist, but
both
take a lead on it.
Both live streams you guys did were very. I mean, there was 40-some, 50-some people watching.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people. Yeah.
Given time, and
I think it's been a long time since we even played too before that. So
right.
We got a lot of people that support our stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
We're kind of.
I was on for both of them, so I was one of those 50.
For sure. Our families all support it. Pretty much anybody that.
Smitty was supporting it.
Yeah, I mean we play a lot to our friends, and just around friend groups and whatnot. So a lot of people know through that, and so even though we don't play that many like actual shows and like tour around or whatever, people were wanting to tune in and check it out, which I thought was super dope.
That was kind of when we did our second tour to Colorado, and you guys played with us on that weird Monday night at your mom's house.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like that was the first time you guys had played together in a while.
I think it had been a minute, yeah.
And you guys brought like 40, 50 50 to that show.
That was cool.
Very well receptive.
Well, didn't I just get back to town that day?
I think so.
I was just traveling that day.
But that was a super fun show. It was our last show of like a 4 or 5 show stretch, so I didn't feel like my performance was... I feel like I got super dried out because I wasn't used to the the aridness, the dryness of the...
I love it. I've learned to love the dryness.
You like it?
It's nice,
What,
I hate humidity now. I'm not used to it anymore.
You came back to Illinois at the worst time.
I know, exactly.
Like, most humidity.
Like, I'm like, ugh, this is nasty. Colorado, I walk outside, it's dry. You know, you don't get that sticky feeling like right
But for
away.
singing, I don't think it's...
Oh, no, yeah, I definitely, like, I mean, your schedule is dry. It goes for everything, your vocal cords, all
If
that.
you're not used to it.
But yeah,
if
you
you
get
live
used
there,
to it.
you're probably fine.
Yeah.
I was hammering water too, and I still...
Oh, yeah, you need more water at altitude as well.
ran out of gas a little bit there
For
at
sure.
the end.
You're closer to the sun.
But I remember you guys did one of my favorites that night. I like Twist Your Arm, the All Time Low song.
Oh, yeah.
What is that song called again?
Shoot.
All time. Calling,
I can't think of it.
Have you seen this girl? I can't think of it.
Wow. I don't know. I'm sure we could just Google those lyrics.
It'll pop in your head eventually.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, I guess we mentioned it to a couple other friends, like what we were thinking about singing, like we were warming up or whatever, and they heard that we knew that All Time Low. They're like, oh, I want to hear that song. I love that song. I can't remember what it is.
Sunday.
Oh, Remembering Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, Remembering Sunday.
Teamwork.
That's
there
it.
we go.
Hey, Donnie would have been right on top of that one.
Yeah, but I remember, like, I have a couple memories from that song, but I remember hearing you guys do it first, and then being like, wow, that song's great. And then I listened to the original, I was like, not really my cup of tea. So the only way I could get it, like, the way I like to hear it from you guys is if you guys play it.
Right.
The original, like...
I don't know if we...
It doesn't
Doesn't do it for you.
Yeah. I mean, not that it's bad. It's just not when you guys do that harmony.
For sure.
It just
it changes a lot. Yeah, for sure.
And then I remember one time.
The original song's like kind of like punky.
Yeah, definitely more
like
on the
emo
pop
punk. Yeah.
kind of side of things.
Right.
But I remember once Big D played drums with you at IBC, and you guys played that song. I remember that.
Holy
show.
crap! Yeah, I remember that. I
10,
had
12 feet high.
Yeah.
Weird stage.
I think I had like bleached hair then. My hair was like bleached.
So you were pretty cool.
I was.
Trying to say.
Was pretty
Top
awesome.
notch.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool guy.
Cooler than I am now.
need to bring it back, maybe. Maybe that's your signature, Ross.
Re-bleach my hair.
Yeah,
awesome.
I support this.
Well, you got a little gray going on in yours, but it's
That's just paint.
It's the paint.
I know.
I'm painting windows.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna bleach my hair anytime soon.
Well, that might be your biggest mistake, Ross.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
That's your ticket to the big time.
it's what's preventing me from stardom.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could do a little goatee.
Whatever.
Goatee bleach too.
Do a touch of gray in the goatee
Yeah.
and then
Like Guy
bleached
Ferrari.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like an
Maybe
oxymoron.
eyebrows too.
I can see it.
Get wild with it. That could be your
man.
look.
Probably not gonna do that.
You can
Alright.
bring back that green fire shirt.
Yeah. The pleather pants.
You would look pretty good in it. The pants that you wore at Fun Fest.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
In Beans and Intergalactic Warrior.
Yeah.
That shirt that you wore, I got an image of that
Yeah.
pop in my head.
Yeah.
Was pretty nuts. Well, the one I was like turquoise.
Yeah, it was turquoise,
stretchy-
yellow, green, like flames.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was nice.
that's super cool.
Anyway,
We digress.
yeah, that was classic. What we
That's
all
funny.
wore like really. I think
We all had some funny outfits.
Kev wore.
That was part of the thing. I feel like Kev wore like
a
lab coat or something.
jumpsuit. It was like a.
Yeah.
It looked like a janitor suit. We all went to the
That sounds about right.
Like the Salvation Army or
Yeah,
the
image was everything.
Yeah.
We had to We knew he sounded cool. But
My
we had to
brother
look
Derek.
cool.
My brother Derek was in our ear too much.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
my
yeah.
ear too much about what we needed to look like. And then to come back full circle, like I realized that he's actually 100% correct on that. But we shouldn't.
We
have
weren't
been.
ready for it.
Yeah. we
We had to work on the fundamentals first.
the fun. We had the fun part.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly.
The mentals, I don't know.
Yeah, the dementals.
But yeah, I mean, I do think that, you know, surprisingly, as much as I hate to say it and fight it as much as possible, a look is important.
Oh yeah.
And though it wasn't just trying to be extreme and crazy and see what we could find at the Salvation Army, I don't know. I just think that there is a element to that if you have like an interesting look, it adds to the picture, because you need, as an artist, I feel like you have to be like a full picture.
If you have like this intriguing look about you, like people
but then you can also
around.
kill it on stage and have good recordings and have a fun, good story to tell. All those things together, I think, are kind of the combination of
full
everything.
package,
right?
Yep.
And that's I think the people that are, you know, there's a lot of people that are really good at the music part that kind of get left to the wayside because they're lacking.
They're not like flashy,
and that's kind of where I sit.
That can happen.
You know?
That can happen.
I don't. I wish that I focused more on that, and I wish that I would have taken his advice maybe a little bit more. Then, because then I could have maybe cultivated something. But,
right. Yeah. It's always time.
Right. But so what brought you back in town today? This week?
I came back. My nephew, my sister Nicole, had a little baby boy a year ago. So his first birthday was supposed to be. We were gonna celebrate it early May.
Right.
But then it got pushed back a month because the virus, pushed back again, and then even though the scene's not like any better now than it was 2 months ago, we just finally decided we're gonna do it.
Grab your mask and see what happens. Like roll the dice a little bit.
Traveling was a little strange, but I mean it wasn't too bad.
And I'm sure it's not nearly as busy as it would normally be.
No, not at all. And I flew Southwest. They have like the middle seats open still, so it was alright.
All right. Well, I think we are gonna probably call it. We're gonna try to do a live stream right after this, so we gotta get a couple songs together and see what happens. But anyway, thanks for anybody who took the time to listen. I really appreciate you. Again, this is Ross Graves.
Yo.
And
peace.
Alex Smith, Smitty.
Hi, goodbye.
Where can people find the Heroic Charade stuff? And I know you do some side stuff, which I should have probably talked about a little bit more.
SoundCloud / Heroic Charade, or just search the Heroic Charade. It's all just on SoundCloud.
But then you do some like more instrumental.
And then I have like some stuff that I produce. It's if you search Dafarian on SoundCloud as well, and then
that's mostly just like funk jam,
experimental, electronic jam. I'm still working on some of that right now. That'll be coming out soon, actually.
How much stuff do you have on that front going?
Quite a bit. That's where most of my energy is focused right now. I'm still playing with Donnie a little bit, but I'm going to be trying to start a full band with some friends of mine.
Nice.
Out in Denver. So.
And then just doing the jammy electronic stuff. So what do you do in that mainly? Do you?
I will be playing rhythm guitar and singing.
Nice.
In that project, and then I'll also have synths and some other stuff going on for like backing tracks.
Very cool. Well, I'll try to remember when I release this to put all the links in the comments and in the description so people
hit the like button, share it with your friends.
Yeah, do all that stuff. All right. Well, thanks again for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Have a good rest of your week.
Peace.